Hello, Rachel Service, the CEO of Happiness Concierge here and the author of There Has to Be More, the Essential Guide to Personal Growth. Woohoo! I love this exercise, which is about what are we moving away from and what are we moving towards, because not only A, do I use it pretty much on a weekly basis, but B, it helps reframe what can feel like a bit frustrating or annoyed or frustrated around our scenario to a much more positively angled, what am I moving towards? So it helps us acknowledge where we are, but also separate ourselves from where we are to focus on where we want to be. Because we know when we focus on where we want to be, that's when we make positive change. And our work as growth simply becomes kind of digging away, boundarying ourselves and fortifying our resilience against things that might get in the way of that. So I'm here on page 30 of the book. And if you're in your workbook, we're in the section of how did I end up here, just after the learning zone exercise here. So to help untie yourself from scenarios that no longer support who you are, I want you to create a checklist of who you are, what you are interested in, what you are comfortable walking away from to make room for all the wonderful things and people and feelings and experiences that you are going to move towards. So I would like to invite you to write down any words, environments, dynamics, scenarios, people that you're interested in sashaying away from to make room to who you want to become, what environments you want to welcome into your life, what people, what boundaries, what dynamics, what environments that are going to serve you. So again, we're here on page 30 of the book, and you might also have your workbook in front of you, which is the exercise here. So, samples that my clients have shared with me is that I want to move away from a dynamic where I'm complaining about a coworker. Like, I know I'm better than that, but I don't know how to be better than that. I want to be better than this moment, right? And so I'm going to make room to acknowledge that I'm going to walk away from that, or mentally untie myself from that temptation to step towards someone who chooses not to get involved in office gossip. Another example might be, I'm choosing to move away from surrounding myself with people who are more skeptical or negatively minded, or a bit like, what's the point? To move towards surrounding myself with people who think about what could I gain, a more what we would call abundance mindset. So moving away from a scarcity mindset to an abundance. Scarcity being there has to be less, abundance being there has to be more, right? Or another example might be instead of mentally agreeing with other people's version of success, they might have chosen to create their own, which is what I'm all about here at Happiness Concierge and, of course, in this book. So here are some prompters I'm going to read from the book here, which is what I'm moving away from and what I'm interested in moving forwards. Okay, so here we go. I am moving away from people who feel a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way, choose inaction, for example, people who. I am walking away or moving away, moving away from a mindset which is glass half empty, a mindset which is there has to be less, a mindset which is this is too hard, for example. I am moving away from environments that maybe bring out the worst in me, environments that de-energize me, environments that just are not my flavor, environments that don't reflect my vibe. I am moving away from people who do or do not, or people who think. And of course, later in the book, you'll do a people audit in the game plan section, which will help you crystallize this as well. I'm moving away from people who do and or think. And another prompter here, I'm moving away from a dynamic where, and this is really where, as they say, the rubber hits the road at the end of the book, where you'll actually go through what to expect when you're growing and how to reframe unhelpful dynamics or power dynamics into equitable relationship dynamics, where you can seek more and have those relationship dynamics come from a place of equity and representation. So a dynamic where. So dynamics might include power games. They might include a dynamic where you're kind of reliant on each other or other people, a dynamic where you're not bringing your best self, any dynamic that you're kind of interested in being like, bye, I'm no longer interested in that. And once you've done that, I want you to think about what's on the next page, which is, what do I want to make room towards? So almost imagine two columns. To your left-hand side, moving away from moments, and to your right-hand side, moving towards moments. So here are some prompters to help you with that. I am choosing to make room to move towards people who know there's more to life, people who are positively minded, people who share my passion for my creative venture, people who run their own businesses, people who had the same interests as me, people who had the same job as me, people who also are in the same community as me, people of the same faith, people of a who have subscribed to a different version of success, people who identify differently or the same as me, I should say, people who express themselves. Yeah, so the opportunities are endless there. I'm choosing to make room towards making room for, rather, a mindset or the mindset that, a mindset that anything is possible, a mindset that I'm in control of my destiny, a mindset that there's more to life. I'm choosing to believe that, and a mindset that when it gets hard, I had the power to influence change. The other prompter is, I'm choosing to make room to move towards positive environments which bring out the best in me, reflect my beliefs, reflect my value system, reflect what I'm passionate about. Think about environments which either bring out something beautiful in you and or reflect back to you who you know you are and or are capable of becoming, or maybe have already decided that you are. I'm choosing to make room to move towards people who do or do certain things, maybe things I'd like to do, as they say in business circles. Don't act like the business owner you are, act like the business owner you want to become, to reflect the business you want to become. So an example might be people who do the jobs that I'd like in future, or the job that I have, or people who think a certain way, who might vote similarly to me, for example, or people who have the same skill set or passion, people who are creative, and are moving towards a dynamic where anything is possible, a dynamic where I have an equitable relationship, or a dynamic where I'm the best version of myself, or a dynamic where we're both equals, for example. So have a think about, and again, I'm looking to my book here on page 30 and 31 of the pink book, and if you're in your workbook, we're on the exercise, which is in the section around, just looking to my chapter notes here. Woo, woo, woo. Oh yeah, you will find yourself in the workbook under how did I end up here? You're looking at moving away and moving towards. Yeah. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't be shy and reach out to me and or any of my happiness concierges if you have any questions. Don't be shy. Our email is hello, HELLO, @happinessconcierge.com. And if you're hearing a few cheeky squeaks in the background, that's my dog, Joey, who's found his favorite teddy toy, I think. So hello from me, and thank you, and Joey the dog. Thanks for watching. Have fun, and see you soon.